Hello, everyone. I think we are ready to start our info session. Let me introduce myself. My name is Arina, and I represent Student Recruitment Office of Koç University. Our today's info session is dedicated to our undergraduate programs and admissions for the 2025 intake, fall intake. Thank you everyone who is joining today. Please keep in mind that the webinar is being recorded and you will receive, like all the students and applicants, future applicants who registered for the webinar will be receiving a recording within a couple of days. Meanwhile, before I start my presentation, I would like also to mention that my colleague, Mr. Ahmed, is also joining the webinar and will be answering your questions and answers that you will be leaving in the inbox related box on the bottom side of the panel. You can check it. Meanwhile, while I'm doing my presentation, and at the end, we will also answering your questions after presentation live. So I think we can start. Again, don't forget, like if you have any questions, you can already type them in the Q&A box and then join Q&A session as well. First of all, before we talk about Koç University, our programs and the entry requirements for the next intake, I would like to briefly introduce Turkey or Türkiye and Turkish education to you for all of you who are interested in our undergraduate programs. Turkey is currently starting from the 2001 has joined the Bologna process, meaning that the education that that you will be receiving in Turkey, your bachelor, master, or PhD degree will be internationally recognized and will be standardized under the Bologna education system. In Turkey, we have two different types of the universities that I would like to mention too, in case if you will be considering other Turkish universities for your future education. We have state Turkish universities, governmental and foundation, or we can also call them private Turkish universities. So what is the difference between them? The main difference is that the state Turkish universities are funded and supported by the government itself, and the foundation or private Turkish universities are supported and funded by those foundations that they belong to. We'll be mentioning about foundation that Koç University belongs to a little bit later on. Another major difference between state and private Turkish universities is that the language of instructions. So mainly in Turkish state universities, the Turkish is still the main language of teaching. However, there are also different universities right now that offer English education. While in the private Turkish universities, English is the main language of teaching and instruction, which is also broadening your opportunities later on if you would like to apply for exchange or Erasmus programs that all private Turkish universities are taking part in, or in general continue your education later on in any country in all over the world, in Europe, in the UK, US, and so on. Also would like to mention that even though the living in Turkey recently, within the last 3-4 years, became a bit more expensive than previously, it is still the cost of living is still much less than in the big countries such as US, UK, or Australia. So we'll be also showing you a separate slide for that, where you can calculate how much you will be needing for your expenditures, apart from the education, tuition fees, and so on, just to live in Istanbul. For many countries and nationalities, Turkey is a visa-free country, which also means that there is an easier way for those countries and nationalities who don't need visa to enter Turkey to come here and apply for the student resident permit after the registration, which again makes some of the things that we can call them as an advantage of studying in Turkey. Our university, Koç University, is also part of the governmental scholarship program. Maybe you've already heard about this. It's called Türkiye Bursları, or Turkish scholarships. You can find more information about those scholarships both on our website or just Google Turkish scholarships in general in any search tool. and you will be able to check what is the scholarship about briefly. If, for example, your family or sponsor or in general doesn't have enough sufficient fundings to support your future education, you can always apply to this program and see your chances if you can be admitted. In this case, if you're admitted, you will be receiving a free education, plus the Turkish government is also providing you extra support, such as your plane tickets, monthly stipend, and accommodation payments, allowance, and so on. Just please keep in mind, if you will be applying both to Turkish scholarships, Türkiye Bursları, and include Koç University on the list of the universities that you would like to apply to, please make sure that in a parallel you submit your application to Koç University as well. Okay. So again, this information you can also check later on our website under the scholarships webpage. In general, some information about Turkey. I'm sure there are some students, prospective students, or maybe family members that are familiar with Turkey or already live here, but most of our international students are coming from abroad, from a different country. So just a general information about the facts. The official name of the Turkish Republic is Republic of Turkey. The capital of the Republic of Turkey is Ankara, while Istanbul is of course, biggest city that bridges both Asian and European continents together. The official language is Turkish language, and here I would like to also put some note on that. While you're studying at Koç University, in the academic environment, you don't really need to learn Turkish language because most of our programs are taught in English language. However, if you are outside, let's say, of campus, still please note that majority of people in Turkey speaking Turkish language, not English. Therefore, if you learn any basic Turkish before or meanwhile while studying at the university, since we have some elective courses you can choose for learning Turkish, that would be much beneficial for you. Now, I have already mentioned that for some countries and nationalities, there is a visa-free entrance to Turkey. However, some of you will be needing to apply, you will need to apply for visa. So you can see the different, you can find all this information on the website related to the Migration Office of Turkey and see what kind of visa you will need to obtain. In some cases, for example, you can obtain a student visa if you need to enter Turkey with visa, but it takes longer time than obtaining a touristic visa. In this case, you can apply for touristic visa. What is easier for you? Because in any case, once you arrive in Turkey, you will have to apply for the student resident permit. This is obligatory thing for everyone who doesn't hold Turkish nationality. And we do have a office who is fully supporting you in all the documentation process, guiding you which documents you need to prepare in advance from your countries for applying to the student resident permit, showing you the way how to do it here. Then you proceed with the process by yourself, and after all, you're receiving the card which we call student resident permit that can cover all of your years of studying your bachelor degree, or sometimes migration office is giving some kind of temporary 1, 2, 3 years long resident permit cards, and then you can apply for the extension. Again, this is normally depends on the migration office's decision. Now, as I already promised, we'll talk a little bit about the foundation also about that Koç University belongs to. Maybe you've heard again about Koç Holding or Koç Foundation. That is one of the main, I would say, economic players in Turkey, and one of the biggest holdings in Turkey in general. That covers all different kind of spheres, including energy, finance, consumer durables, and many others. Here we just combined one of the most popular companies, let's say, that are operating under the Koç Holding. Maybe some of them are familiar to you, and you have branches of them in your countries, which is quite possible, especially in the Central Asian countries. And at the same time, there is also education sphere that is supported by the Koç Foundation. And this sphere includes Koç High School and Koç University itself. We have around 8,000 students studying at Koç University in all the degree levels, bachelor, master's, and PhD levels. In total, the number of the international student is close to 10%, but like to be precise, it is 9% this year. And we have students studying from 80 different countries, including full-time students, as well as exchange students who are coming for just one semester exchange to Koç University and then going back to their countries. In total, we offer 22 undergraduate programs within 7 faculties. And also importantly to mention that university is intensive research university. Therefore, the campus is fully equipped with different research labs and research centers, as well as campus and as well as the Koç University's hospital, mostly for the students who are studying medicine. Also mentioning the professors' background that will be main instructors and professors of your programs if you study at Koç University. The numbers of international professors are the same as international students. It is 9%. 91% of the academicians are Turkish professors. And you can check here the statistics that we combined of the universities where our academicians have been have graduated, meaning received their PhD doctorate degree. These universities include Ivy League universities, Oxbridge, and in general, 30% of them are among the world top 100 universities. Here, I think one of the main slides, mostly maybe for parents, I guess the students right now, according to our experience, I would say we can see that students' criteria of choosing university is a bit different than it was before. But anyway, the rankings are playing a very important role. And normally there are two, the most popular platforms that are listing the universities rankings each year. It's Times Higher Education and QS World University Rankings. Here you can see, like for the last 5 years, Koç University was included into the 500 best universities, top universities in the world. And we did increase our position in the rankings. And right now, according to the data for 2024, we are in the 400 best universities according to Times Higher Education and according to QS as well. Here you can check the subject rankings, which will be, of course, more related to the sphere that you would like to get education in. And you can also notice that in most of the spheres, we are first in Turkey. We're also included in like between 100 to 100 and maximum 400 top universities in the world. More detailed, it's always advised to check on the websites of these platforms. You can see also at the bottom the reference for the website names. So it's always we always suggest you to check it properly, because there's also other information as some statistics and data over there. Now, I would like to mention a little bit about our campus before we start more focused on the undergraduate programs and where the university located itself. So for those who are familiar with Istanbul or live in Istanbul, who have been here as tourists before, maybe, as I told before, you know, the city bridges Europe and Asia together. So on this picture, you can see the biggest part here. So like in the middle, you can see the Bosphorus, and on the left, this is a European part of Istanbul, and a small piece of the Asian part, which is mostly a residential area, right? So for those who have been here or heard about the historical places such as Sultan Ahmet Mosque, Hagia Sophia Mosque, Topkapı Palace, and so on, they are all located on the European side in this Sultan Ahmet area. We call it historical area. Maybe you also heard about the biggest and largest street, let's say shopping street and entertainment street is Istiklal, Taksim Square. They're all located on the European side, dividing by the Golden Horn. So where the university located? We are located a little bit far away from the city center. So you can see here, there are in total 3 bridges that you can use for crossing from European to Asian side, first, second, and third. So Koç University's campus is located next to the third bridge. So it's the closest bridge. You can even see it from the campus. So there are some, again, like we can say that in Istanbul, there are two types of universities: city universities that are really located in the city centers, or campus type, which we belong to the second one. They're basically, like I would say, for those students who would like to benefit from a very calm, nice environment for studying, the campus will be a perfect place for you. Even though it is located far away from the main entertainment areas, still the transportation in Istanbul is very diverse. And like you can use all kind of means of transportation. There are buses, there are metro buses, there is sea transportation, metro, subway, minibuses, like really plenty of the options that you can choose. So the closest metro station to Koç University is called Hacı Osman. And it literally takes with internal shuttle or public transportation around 20, 30 minutes to get there if there is a traffic, even faster, like 15 minutes if there is no traffic. It is located to the main M2 metro line, we call it that way. And later you can use metro to get to any of those places that I have mentioned before. For your own easier, let's say, navigation around the city, at first place when you arrive, maybe it's better to download some kind of applications. There are plenty of them as well right now. It can be related to Istanbul municipality application or many others that can help you to understand where you're going and like how you can use the public transportation efficiently in Istanbul. But believe me, maybe after a year you will be so much comfortable and convenient. Let's say like you will get used to the convenience of the transportation here. You will be the one who will be showing the way to people who will be asking you. Sorry, I think there was a cutout. I'm not sure if from my side, but let's continue from the moment when the Zoom didn't let me in, but I'm back right now. So, uh, okay, we were talking about, uh, yeah, okay, so just let me double check if we have recording. Yes. So we were talking about our campus, and Rumeli Feneri campus combines both academic buildings, which meaning faculties and the classrooms where you will be studying, and administrative buildings where like our offices are located. Apart from that, since it is a campus university, it does have all the facilities that you need: canteens, cafe places, coffee shops, library, printing place, hairdresser, supermarket. Everything is located in one place in the student center. You can see it over here. So you don't really need to go outside of the campus to make sure that you need something. So also the health, like if there is any kind of problem with the health or health related issue, we have a healthcare center on campus as well, which is working for 24 hours. And also for the dormitories that are also located on campus. However, there are just like a little note that there are two parts of the dormitories. So one of them is located, let me go back, is located here. You can see on the left side, and the other part located a little bit far, like it's not far away from the main campus, but you have to go outside with the internal shuttle that brings you to the West campus, we call it, but this is just a second part of our dormitories. Dormitories are normally guaranteed to the students, first year applicants who are admitted to our undergraduate programs. If you submitted your application by the end of May. So please keep it in mind, because later the quota of dormitories is getting less and less, because normally we have a very high demand on staying on dorms each year. You can apply for double, triple, quadruple, or 5-person room. There are also options for the single room, however, only for those students who have any kind of medical prescription from the doctor or medical report. This is also important to keep in mind. The dormitory applications are generally all open in August and last for 1 week. It can be middle of August, a little bit later than mid of August. We're announcing everything on our website and letting students who are willing to apply for the dormitories know. You can see the prices for last year, for like current year. The prices vary from 2,500 to 6,000 USD, depending on the dorm type. And the prices for the next academic year are normally announced in July. So, but you can still approximately understand how much you will be paying for the dorm if you would like to apply for them. So apart from those academic buildings that I showed you on the previous slide, also you can see that there are plenty of activities that are being held on campus. We have different kind of activities and events such as Spring Festival, Fall Opening Semester. Our Office of International Community Office is also trying to contribute to your social integration and organizing different events, like, for example, Turkish practice hours. If you are not, if you're willing to study Turkish language and just would like to practice it with native speakers or other foreigners who are at the same position as you, every Friday, they're organizing the meetings on campus. You can participate in those and many other activities. Each day, like every day, basically, the university is sending the full, like the list of the events that will be conducted on campus. So it is always, always very crucial and important for you to check your inbox if you would like to participate in any. Sometimes students are also involved into the organization of those events, such as orientation or student clubs presentations, etc. Now we are coming to the main point, I would say, of our info session, since we learned already a bit briefly about Turkish education, Koç University itself, our campus. Now we'll be talking about the undergraduate programs at Koç University. We have 22 undergraduate programs within 7 colleges. We call faculties as colleges, and our education, as it is in English language, we just have several exceptions for those students who would like to study medicine, nursing, or law. And let me just briefly also mention what is the difference. If you are studying medicine program, first of all, it is 6 years of the education, while all other programs are 4 years long. And Turkish language will be required at some point. So you can firstly, after first year, listen how the doctors are communicating with the patients by attending some kind of trainings at the Koç University's hospital. And after the 3rd year, since your 4th, 5th, and 6th year will be you will be spending at Koç University's hospital, your Turkish proficiency has to increase to the level of C1. So you are able to practice, like to talk and communicate with the patients yourself. And most of the patients of the Turkish universities are Turkish citizens. That's why this requirement is very important. However, all classes, seminars, and all other academic related activities are held in English language. For nursing, it is very close situation, almost the same. For School of Law, since the law program is a Turkish law, it is conducted 70% in Turkish language and 30% in English. So apart from that, let's say the leading programs recently for the last several years, the popular programs among the international and Turkish students are all in English language, like computer engineering, economics, business administration, psychology. All these other programs that you see on your screen are conducted in English language. So, what is happening after you have been admitted and started your education at Koç University? There is some specific things that is important to know before you even apply to university. Is that our education system in general? Uh, I think we can first drop to this slide, then we'll go back to the previous one. Um, Koç University is one of the 3 or 4 Turkish universities that had a specific education system. Maybe you've heard about the American education system called liberal arts education. We call it core program. It is very similar to that, meaning that the first year, all the students will be studying the same subjects, and you can see some of them. This is just an example, let's say, right, of the subjects that are you can choose as elective. Some of them they will be compulsory to take, some of them they will be elective. So why this program was implemented by the professors and academicians of our university is basically to broaden your mindset and the mentality and try to help you to gain skills in all kind of spheres. As everyone can see right now, the world is progressing very fast. Therefore, your focus in general on your education shouldn't be just with on one major, that it will be for the second, third, and fourth year of your studies. But at first year, please try to gain as much as more as you can of different skills. So please keep it in mind. If you study business administration, mechanical engineering, or medicine, the first year you will be picking the same subjects as students from other majors. So I'm going back to the slide of your first year at Koç University on campus. This year is also considered as one of the hardest years, even though it is very exciting for the students to start their education. At the same time, it is sometimes not very easy, meaning that let's let's assume that right now you are studying at high school where you have from 500 to 1,000 students in total, and suddenly you're moving to the institution with 8,000 students, plus academicians, plus administrative staff. So some of the professors will not be able to recognize your face or your name at your first year. So it's a very different environment that from your high school. There will be no, like, let's say, full control that teachers right now trying like also to help you to how to say, to graduate from the high school, checking your class attendance. Here it will be mostly you who will be responsible for your own education, which is again something we call transition. But at the same time, we are trying to help as well by implementing one of these, also an elective course. You can choose it, called Academic and Life Skills course, that exactly is showing students the right ways of adapting to the new environment and talking about the time management, stress management. There are some kind of subjects like how to make a presentation, how to interpret lectures, how to perform on the seminars, and so on. So we always suggest you to apply for this course that really might help you to adapt to the university's environment much faster. Then after this transition time is over and you're on your second year, the new opportunities are open for you. And those include, for example, you will be able to apply for a double major or minor program or a track program. You will also be able, according, like, of course, of your current GPA and many other criteria, apply to the exchange programs. We do have more than 300 partners, universities from all around the world, where you can submit, your application to our Erasmus and exchange office and win a chance to study abroad for minimum 1 semester. At the same time, you can start considering or looking for the opportunities of doing your summer or winter internships. If you're willing to, if you have any kind of talent or desire to bring something new to the university, you can even start thinking about opening your own student club. So starting from the second year, life will be easier for you, and I'm sure much more interesting too. I previously mentioned the track programs, and let me just explain what is that, because I'm pretty sure everyone is familiar with double major and minor programs. Track programs are certificate programs that you can take within specific faculties. Here you can see no, it's of the tracks that you're taking is not limited. It can be one, it can be two, it can be more, depending on your like how capable you are of managing all your studies at the same time. And at the end, you will be able to receive like once you're receiving a bachelor degree, you will also have like notes saying that you already had there's a certificate in track in this subject or track in this subject and so on. There are some common questions we receive like very often. For example, do you have a marketing bachelor degree in marketing? And we do not have. However, we have a business administration, and you can take marketing as one of the track programs, one of the focus programs that if you're interested, you can study with them. The same for the popular computer engineering. We don't have specific AI related program, but we do have a track program within the computer engineering that is related to AI. Here we can also check the statistics after graduation, what is happening, and not just after graduation, but also while you're studying at university. On the right side of the slide, you can see the, I would say, recent statistics of the employment of our students after the graduation. I would say we are proud to say and to mention that almost 95% of our students are either receiving offers within the first 6 months after their graduation from the university, or sometimes even while studying on your fourth year at the university, which is a very good statistics, and how university is helping you with achieving this kind of like these goals and trying to help you with the future employment. First of all, there are several activities that are conducted throughout the year. One of them is on-campus recruitment days. Another one is study abroad fairs. So at study abroad fairs, if you would like to continue education on the master, PhD level, you can meet universities that are coming and visiting Koç's campus. Like I think they're conducted once or twice in a semester. Sometimes, for example, the universities from the UK, delegation from the UK universities are joining this event, or any other Turkish universities too, or other universities from European countries. So you can always participate in this event and learn more information. It's like an education fair, but on campus, which makes it even more convenient for you to stop by and talk to the representative of other universities, or to the representatives or HR representatives from the companies who are coming and trying to recruit or offer different kind of internships during their visits to Koç University. You can check that one on the left side. There are some logos of the companies that are regularly coming and talking to the students. Both international Turkish companies, many companies that belong to Koç Foundation, Koç Holding as well. So all these activities are free of charge for the international students. As I told before, what is important and crucial is to check your emails while you're studying at Koç University or any university, because everything what is conducted on campus or outside of campus as well, but can be related and can be beneficial for you. The university's administrative units are trying to deliver to the students this information and then announcements as soon as possible. Now we are going to the more technical part of admission process for the fall 2025, on how to submit your application, what documents you need. Again, you can ask, like if there are some questions, I think there are some questions already. My colleague, Mr. Ahmed, can start answering them. And I will be also answering some of them live later on. So let's start. First of all, if you're willing to apply to the undergraduate programs, you need to make sure that you need to be aware that we do have only one intake, fall intake. So you cannot apply for the spring intake in general to Turkish universities according to the regulations of the Council of Higher Education. Our application period for the fall 2025 is open right now. There are just two divisions. For all the programs except medicine, they're open until, so they're open from July, sorry, from October until July. And for the medicine program, the applications will be open in March and will last until end of May. If you have any questions later on how to apply, because like, of course, the application is a bit complex one, the platform itself, there are like a lot of instructions as well, but at the same time, we also have video tutorials that are published on our website too, and like bring you to our YouTube page. If you have any questions in details, like how step by step you can submit your application. So everything, please remember this website, international.cu.edu.tr. That can be the best source for you to check. If you have any questions left after the info session or later on before you start submitting your application. Now the documents that you need to submit. The documents that we are suggesting you to start preparing even right now, or maybe you already have some of them, and you can already start the application. So the first one is the standardized university admission exam or diploma score, country-wise, like country-based criteria, and the international-based criteria will be showing a little bit later. Also, your official transcripts or high school grades, the English proficiency exam results, such as TOEFL, PTE, or some of them Cambridge, will be also showing the slide with more details a bit later on. Those are like the three main documents. However, there are other mandatory documents, such as motivation letter, also recommendation letters. We do not take recommendation letters as a copy. So just keep it in mind that you will be entering the contact information of your teachers or, I don't know, high school counselors. You can enter both to the application system, and we will be contacting them and asking for the recommendation letters due to the data policy of the university. So you will not be able to see the letters that will be provided for you. Also, we are conducting a video interview, but it's not really a face-to-face or online video interview. It's a pre-recorded video interview. Once you start your application, you will be receiving a link with one specific question that you will need to you can read, prepare yourself for maybe a minute, then open your camera, open your microphone, and answer a question. Please keep in mind that it's not a knowledge-based question. Nothing will be related to specific subjects or specific areas. It's just general to see how you can form your answer on the question. So professor committee is also checking the interviews very carefully later on. And extracurricular activities, of course, if you have any international, national competition certificates, certificates of you doing any kind of volunteering job, sport achievements, and so on, everything will be beneficial for you. But also please keep it in mind that if you have, let's say, 50 different certificates, it doesn't mean that it's going to be good for you. So please pick those that are either really related to your unique skills or to the program that you're applying to, because admission committee, the professors committee won't be able to check all 50 of them. But yeah, just try to keep those that will be showing you like as a very good applicant in their eyes. And always think that your application is basically your portfolio and everything is taken into consideration. And here, you can see exactly how the application and admission process works at the university. So once you submit all those documents that are required, first of all, you will be checked for the eligibility. Meaning if you meet all the minimum admission requirements of your international or national score results. And at the same time, if everything is okay, your application will be forwarded to the admission committee for the further evaluation. If you are being accepted, you will receive an offer normally within 4 or 6 weeks after you submit your application. Hopefully it will be an offer, not a rejection. And offer can also contain information if either you have been accepted to the program with a scholarship or without scholarship. If you accept an offer, you need to inform again, like there is a part on the application platform that you need to tick several sections that you accept an admission offer. And normally you complete your registration process at the end of August, beginning of September, and the education at university starts in the beginning of October. There is a very common question is like, how can we understand, if we're going to be admitted or not? So there is no guarantee on the admission, as again, the evaluation is done in a holistic way. Everything will be taken in consideration. So please pay attention to each and every document that you're submitting. However, what you can do, we have a helpful page for you. It's called Admission Statistics page on our website. You can see here it is for the 2023 year because the data for the 2024 is being generated and will be updated and published very soon in 1 or 2 weeks on the website. So you can see here, like on the left, on the right side, on the right corner up, for example, what are the medium and what are the average SAT score results per each faculty that have been that were accepted by the admission committee. The same applies for the ACT, IB, A levels. It's just like they're just samples of some of the exams on the admission statistics page. So that can be a help for you. Please visit it before you start your application process. Now about the minimum scores. So first of all, if you study with your, if by the end of your finishing your education from the high school, completing your high school, you're receiving your high school diploma. Just high school diploma is not going to be enough to apply to Koç University. You need to support high school diploma with some kind of other documents. So on this slide, you can see the international standardized exam results that can be option 1. So it can be either SAT, ACT, or AP results. It maybe looks a little bit complicated on this slide, but don't worry, it is not. It's just abbreviation for each college. Proceed for another, let's say SAT your results, and then submit your application. At the same time, for the students who are studying in the international schools with IB or A-level curriculum, then SAT, ACT, and other exam results are not compulsory for you. You can apply either with predicted IB grades or with A-level predicted or final grades as well. Again, this is just a guidance on the minimum requirement. Please keep in mind, the higher grades you obtain, the more chances that you get accepted or get better scholarship. We also do have several other national diploma scores that we accept at the university. We do expand this list on the country-based qualifications each year. Please visit our website to click on each country and see what are the minimum requirements if for your national exam results. For the English proficiency. So again, since the education of all the programs are in English language, you need to provide the eligible one to be able to be accepted to the university. You can see here the minimum scores that are required and some fact that is upsetting many prospective students, but I have to mention this, that the IELTS score results are not accepted by Turkish universities, unfortunately. It's been more than 7 or 8 years. Therefore, you can always submit this document as a supportive document, but it will not, you will not be exempted from the either from one of those English exams that are listed on this slide. So yes, please keep it in mind. Non-IELTS or Duolingo exams are currently supported by the Turkish institutions and accepted. So now we come to the point of the cost of education, which is also very important both for you, your parents, or the sponsors who will be helping with the funding of your education. With a little note here too, the tuition fees are shown here for the current year, and in the final tuition fees that there might be a little increase, there might be not. We are not really sure at the moment because we are waiting for the final confirmation that will be announced in January. But at least you can understand the approximate cost of the education at Koç University. So for all the faculties, last year the education cost was 26,000, and for the medicine program it was 40,000. And opportunities for the students from 25 to 100% you can get. And I would say, of course, being honest here, the most achievable scholarships are 25 and 50%, 75 more challenging, and 100%. I would say normally like each year, 2-3% of the. And it also depends on the program that you apply. Let's start with this, that our School of Medicine does not offer scholarships. So you need to really consider if you can continue, like you can start and continue education for 6 years by making the payment of 40,000 and even sometimes more, like, or maybe more in the future. But for the concerning the other programs, like if you're applying for the programs that are, let's say, not as popular as computer engineering or business administration, you have a chance to receive better scholarship, right? So if you apply for our College of Social Sciences and Humanities, psychology, history, or for the College of Natural Sciences, there's more chances that you can get up to 75% scholarship. All the scholarships I evaluate, like are assigned by the professors committee only. The staff from the student recruitment office, meaning me and my colleagues, we don't have any input in decision on your scholarship. So all these documents that you will be submitting will be checked by the relevant professors committee related to the program of your of the program that you're applying to. If you receive a partial scholarship or merit, or full scholarship, merit-based scholarships, they will be covering the tuition fee only, meaning that the cost or like the other costs such as dorms, accommodation on campus or off campus, the daily expenditures, stationery, and so on, have to be covered by student or by family or by the sponsor or the scholarship awarding body, depending on from where your fundings for the education is coming. It is covering the 4 years of studies. You have to maintain specific GPA. You will be informed about which specific GPA it is to maintain your scholarship each year. And I think I missed this part and would like to mention this. It's very important. So when you submit your application, you can apply up to 3 different programs. So you don't need to limit yourself with just one program. And all the 3 different programs will be evaluated separately by the admission committee. So there is always a chance, if the financial factor is important for you and playing a very important role, that you might choose the program that you applied for and got better scholarship. And don't forget that later on you can apply for the double major or take a minor in another field that you are interested in. Also, don't forget to calculate how much money have to be, again, prepared by your family or sponsor to stay in a country where you're going to proceed with your higher education. Here, we did the approximate estimation of the costs of living in Istanbul for the 2025. You can see for what you will be needing to spend money. It's normally including, apart from tuition fee, the accommodation. It is your health insurance, study materials, of course. Some of them, they will be offered by the, some of them you will be able to find online, but some of them, of course, you'll have to purchase. And in general, such as food, clothing, shopping, entertainment, going out, and so on. After you are accepted to the university, first of all, that will be we will, of course, congratulate you, and we will be in touch with you closely, meaning our department, student recruitment department, will be leading you until your registration process at university. We'll be sending and sharing all the important information that you have to prepare or read carefully. So we know that not so many people are really fans right now of reading very detailed and long emails, but Believe me, all the information that we are sharing is really useful. And if you miss like a little bit from that part, it might be a little bit difficult later, for example, I don't know, to prepare some documents that you didn't prepare before coming to Istanbul, then you have to deal with this here in Turkey. So please make sure that you always check again your emails. And we also publish the most important, especially key dates before registration on how, dormitory applications and so on our admitted students page that's dedicated to students who received an offer from the university. Also, we will be connecting you with the current international students and also newcoming international students through the application. We call it Going App. You can consider it as a WhatsApp group, but it's just a separate application with different groups. It can be group about on-campus, off-campus accommodation, or exchange students group, or students from specific countries as well. So you can join it once you get an offer and accept an offer from Koç University to start communicating with students and maybe get some kind of advices also or idea on how to study, or we all know that sometimes students also can give a very good feedback and suggestions to you as a new coming student, like our current students, meaning. After you arrive at the university, you can see here is every year what is happening on campus, our orientation days. Um, Actually orientation week with a lot of different events and activities on campus that are welcoming students, and some of them they're also conducted for your parents and families. And here normally students are listening to our rector or vice rector, dean of students speeches before starting educational journey. Also, we are introducing here your International Community Service Office that I mentioned several times already during the session today, that is helping you with several things such as bureaucratic support, is again, how to apply for your student resident permit, what kind of documents to prepare, how to open your bank account, how to register your phone, or how to register, proceed with your address registration. All this information is delivered by this office, and they have very, very nice and good website. I would say not only just for the students in general, like living in Istanbul, what kind of things you can experience here, you can find on their website and check it out, as well as the social integration. They're arranging different kind of events, such as international weeks, Turkish coffee hours. Again, talked about this a little bit earlier. So this office is fully supporting international students once you arrive on campus. But again, we as a department normally is a first office that you will be visiting, and we will be guiding you later on. If you're interested in like if right now you are not on your last grade and you still have 2 more years before starting your education, or you have siblings or friends, you can also deliver this information to them. We have short programs at university, such as high school winter camps and summer camps that you can register and be part of this, receive certificate at the end. You can just briefly go through this information, check when you can submit your application. Summer camp is divided into different options, such as pre-college camp, summer academy, and the English camp. English camp is mostly for children though, because like from the students who are coming for the summer academy and pre-college camp, we already expect to have a high English proficiency level. And our team includes 5 people at the moment. Actually, we just had a new person started last month, so we will be 6 people now. As I said, our team will be the first one that will be welcoming you here on campus. And also, if you're here in Istanbul, or if you're planning a trip in Istanbul and you would like to check the campus, you can always contact us in advance, preferably 1 or 2 weeks earlier, so we can schedule a campus visit. You can find here our, again, website and the email address that is managed by several members of our team, and submit your request over there. Later, any questions you have, if you forget anything, or if you would like to schedule a campus visit, please email us in advance. Here you also can follow us on the social media. We have a TikTok account, which is managed by our current international students. So if it is very important for you to see, and I think it's very interesting, and you must be curious as well, what is the life on campus? That's exactly what we are showing on our TikTok accounts. Meanwhile, on our Instagram account, you can check all the upcoming events, online events, on campus events that you can attend. Uh, Anything that university is receiving, like some kind of awards, student stories too. And on our YouTube channel, there are plenty of different videos on, for example, why to study medicine program, why to study computer engineering program, where our professors are talking about the program content and the outcome that it can give you after you graduate from these programs. So this webinar, I think it will be also published on our website. You will be able to check. Now I think we can move to the questions and answers session. So I will be opening the questions and reading out loud for those that haven't been answered during the session and answering them. Okay, so we can start. Please feel free right now to submit your questions. So the first one will be, let me go a little bit earlier. Okay. So the question is, how much do we have to pay in Turkish lira for the medical school yearly if we have both British citizenship and Turkish citizenship, but completed our entire education in Britain since birth? Okay, so if there may be some upcoming questions like this, let me clarify this question for you. So for the students who have dual citizenship, meaning Turkish and any other citizenship, the education tuition fee must be paid in Turkish lira only. So it cannot be paid in USD. USD only for the students who have only foreign nationality. And for this year, it was medicine, right? So the medicine program's tuition fee was 1,700,000 Turkish lira. But the prices for the next year, if it might stay the same or it might be different, they normally are announced in the middle of July. And so you can apply for the medicine program in March, but receive your offer, but that you need to wait until middle of July generally to wait until the tuition fee in Tele is announced. Even if you completed the entire education in the UK, it's still like as long as you have Turkish citizenship, it has to be done in Turkish lira. Yes. So this question is done. The next one, if student sends an application in March of 2025, the upcoming year, do I have less of a chance of getting accepted compared to someone who submitted in February? Okay, thank you for this question. This is a very good one because I know that's like for the Turkish universities and many other international universities all over the world, sometimes there are such things as if you apply earlier, you have more chances to be admitted or receiving scholarship. This is not the case for Koç University. It doesn't matter if you apply in October, in March, or June or July. You will be equally evaluated as all other applicants, both for admission and the scholarship. We do not have scholarship quota for each student because of the holistic way of evaluation of the application. The only thing that can affect your application application time, right, when you're applying, is that dormitory, if you're planning to stay on dorms, then you have to apply by the end of May. Otherwise, you will be late to submit your dormitory application in August, and you will have to consider off-campus accommodation, okay? But in general, again, there is no difference if you apply now, March or July, you'll be equally evaluated as all other applicants. The next question. For dorming, are we allowed to choose a roommate or will it be randomized? So first of all, once you start your application for the dormitories, we have a very good system, our internal platform where you'll be filling the application that will be allowing you to not to choose, but to write the name of the students, maybe whom you already know, who are current students or who are students like you newly coming students, you can submit their names, and later the housing department will be matching you. It is, though, not guaranteed that you will be for sure placed in the room with the same roommate that you would like to leave, but there is still chance. What is important that your future roommate would show your name as well on their dorm application, so it can match. So that question is already answered. The next question. If I already completed my undergraduate application interview to Koç University and almost completed my application, but I would like to do my interview again, would I do it? So the thing is, if you have already submitted, like if you already have recorded your interview and there was no any technical error and it is recorded properly and we can see it on the system, there is no a second chance. We don't give a second time for you to complete the interview. Only if you had a technical issue, you just need to send us email. So we will be checking first what kind of technical issue it was, and then we can resend you the interview link. But for now, if it is already completed, you may consider it's being done. Okay, and also for those students here who already have submitted their applications or are in the process of working on it, please also be aware that the application evaluation will start in January. So you have time to work on it, to submit it. We will be checking the eligibility, getting back to you if there is something missing. But at the same time, like at the end of January, you will be receiving the application results. So I'll answer this question too. Okay, for now we don't have, okay, there's one more question. Meanwhile, I would like to thank my colleague, Mr. Ahmed, who is answering the questions. We have many today, which I'm glad to hear and to see that the questions are really straight to the point, and we see many interested students right now. So, okay, the next question we have, if I don't have a GCSE, high school and A-level certificate in science, will the SAT still be enough for medicine application? So I think let me talk in general about SAT and the A-levels in this case, because like there is a common question for students who do A-levels and then they sit for the SAT and think which one is better to apply through with. So first of all, just always check the minimum requirements. If for the medicine, for example, you're applying for the medicine, but your A-levels, I don't know, related to business, economics, and so on, it is always better not to submit these results to your application, but applying with SAT instead. Okay, so, but please also make sure that your math section on SAT will be having high results. And it doesn't only apply to the medicine, to any other program. So first you check the minimum admission requirements on our website. If there are several subjects that are not related, both IB or A-level, it is better to consider applying with only SAT without submitting your A-level results. The next question will be, do you need the attested certificates from school for international students, or this could be done later on in Turkey? I would like to get some clarification. If you're meaning certificate by the high school equivalency certificate that international students are receiving for registration, let me also point this out. So normally, to register to any Turkish university, you need to obtain high school equivalency certificate. We call it denklik. However, for the last 1 year, the Council of Higher Education removed it from the compulsory mandatory list for the registration for the international students with no Turkish citizenship studying abroad. But for the Turkish students who are studying abroad, the high school equivalency certificate is still a must, and you can obtain it in your country if you have an educational attaché over there, or when you come to Istanbul. It's just a little bit more challenging in Istanbul because there's a lot of people applying. So better to check it if you can do it in the country where you're studying, or if you study in Istanbul in the international school, which is not included into the national MEP curriculum, like Milli Eğitim Bakanlığı curriculum, then you also need to apply for this denklik. For any other documents, like it's not just for the high school diplomas. General, if you will need whatever for the student resident permit and many others, please always make sure that you are done with all the translations, with all the apostilles and everything in your countries before you come to Turkey. Even sometimes it is not a requirement, let's say, to have an apostilled document or high school diploma. Just be prepared in case, because anything can happen. And like sometimes we have situations when the students are asked by the relevant authorities to submit extra documents that they couldn't, like they didn't obtain in their own countries, and to do it in Turkey through the embassies a little bit more complicated. Okay. So the next question is for which majors does SAT exam is required? So if you have only your high school diploma of your national curriculum, and you don't have, didn't study with A levels or IB diploma, or with one of the national qualifications that we accept, then SAT must be submitted for all the majors, SAT or ACT. SAT is still the most popular exam that we accept at university, and the students applying with most of the students who are applying are doing that with the SAT exam. So it doesn't matter. It can be any of 22 undergraduate programs that will be requiring your requiring SAT to be submitted for that. Okay, the next question is for the medical course, will there be any kind of public examination required? No. So for the medical application, it's the same for the undergraduate one, right? So you can apply with just SAT if you have IB A levels. It is the same requirements. It's just the points are higher that are required. So if it is SAT, it has to be 1,450, which is one of the highest requirements that we have at the university. So just double check with that, but public examinations are not really required, no. Again, if you have any, you can, and the grades are good from your country or like anything related to that, you can always submit them as other documents or supportive documents. Okay, the next question, are there any externally sponsored scholarships available at the university for international students? Yes, we do have, and the first I have already talked. So first of all, it would be really good for you to check our scholarship section on our website. When you go to the international.edu.tr, there is a scholarship section, and exactly those scholarship awarding bodies that we have partnership with. Okay, so one of them, for example, if we talk about like national here, we have governmental one called Türkiye Bursları, Turkish scholarships, and we have some of them per countries. I will just list some of them that we have. We are working with, for example, Azerbaijan state scholarships. We are working with Saudi Arabia scholarships. We are working with Rwanda's scholarships. So please make sure that you check if the scholarship, let's say maybe government scholarship that is like your government is providing, is included into the list of our partners or not. And if not, you can always try your chances from Türkiye Bursları, Turkish scholarships. For Turkish scholarships, also please keep in mind that their application period is very, very short, normally from January to February. So if you want to apply, just follow their website every day and see when the applications are open. Don't be late. Okay. The next one. Can I apply to Koç University without TOEFL, or is it mandatory? Can I pass your internal exam? Okay, my colleague, I think I can see is writing at the moment, but let me also say it out loud. So the thing is that our internal exam have been canceled for the last 2 years, and this year we are planning to have one, but for very limited number of the students, and it's not really for sure yet. So this we will also we'll make sure will be announced in January before you start receiving your offers if you already submitted your application. So what we always suggest is just to apply for a seat for the TOEFL. First of all, it will help you to directly submit your application with no missing documents and not to wait until the exam is conducted at university. Don't forget, if exam is conducted, it will be end of August and the education starts in October. if you and you can be placed in the dormitories only in October, so you'll have 1 month of staying in Istanbul with no dorm placement, or probably renting a hotel, house, apartment, or traveling back to your country. So I think it's easier and cheaper to sit for TOEFL. And if you are sitting for TOEFL in any other country rather like than Turkey, it can be any testing center. If you are planning to pass TOEFL here in Turkey, please make sure that the testing center is located in the state Turkish university, not in the private Turkish universities, okay? Not in the foundation. So just be prepared for the TOEFL. Okay, so I think I will answer the last question. If we don't have any science grades in our education history, but 1,500 plus SAT score, would that negatively affect medical school application? Well, that might be the case. I mean, depending, like if you have your high school diploma, or are you meaning like your A levels maybe, or IB? Because normally if the admission committee, they don't really look at your GPAs on high school diploma, let's say, but they will check if you studied, I don't know, chemistry, biology, or physics, or math. Math is also important. So it's better, of course, to have it in your academic history, in your education history. But again, like don't be, it's not something that I want to try to demotivate or something. Still, 1,500 plus SAT, very good score. So if the math is also on a very high level, there's always a chance that you will be accepted to the medical school too. And don't forget here again that not just the scores will be evaluated, but at the same time, many other documents that you submit, including your extracurricular documents, motivation letters, and so on. I think I answered that question too. So I think we have answered for all the questions so far. Let us give you 1 more minute. If you have last questions in your mind, please don't hesitate, write in the Q&A box. So one more question we have is, when we are adding our transcripts, is it okay to add the 3 years and 1 semester grades for senior year, since I'll be sending the application before I graduate? Yes, of course. So you don't need to wait until your graduation. Yeah, you can submit your high school transcripts, including the last semester of the current year before your graduation. We don't need high school diploma for evaluating. Like, I mean, your final certificate or diploma, it will be required for the registration. This is totally fine. And if you're studying with your A-level or IB curriculum, you can always submit your A-level or IB predicted grades. But here also, please be aware that if you receive the actual grades, the final grades, like in July or August, depending on the curriculum, on the diploma, and they won't meet the predicted grades that you have submitted previously, your application might be withdrawn or your scholarship might be cut. So depending on the final grades. Okay, the next question. Am I able to apply to the undergraduate medicine early and not in March? No, unfortunately, no. The medicine program will be only open in March. So yes, this would be, how to say, very important thing to you. Don't miss the opportunity, but the application process won't be open. Application portal won't be open for medicine. I think we have so far answered all the questions. If you have any further other questions, please submit them to our email. Just as a last reminder, we have a study@cu.edu.tr email address. We are trying to reply you within 48 hours during the work days. So please submit your questions over there. And we are very thankful and grateful for your participation in our info session. Thank you so much. We wish you a very nice day, and be in touch with us through all the communication channels. Thank you again, and we wish you a nice day. Goodbye.